So this woman is facing 20 years in federal prison for building a movie studio that was completely fake. Her plan? To build a future-proof $2.8 billion studio in a tiny California farm town that fell for it completely. This story is insane. Listen to this. It's 2012, and the small town of Dixon, California is hurting. The economy is in the gutter, jobs are gone, and people are desperate for a miracle. And then she walks in. A woman named Carissa. She calls herself a Hollywood producer, a big shot with big connections. And bro, she has a pitch that is pure lightning in a bottle. She stands in front of the city council, in front of the mayor, and paints a picture of the future. She calls it Morningside Studios. Not just a movie studio, but a 30-acre, self-sustaining creative utopia. She's talking sound stages, a film school, a hotel, an amphitheater, a theme park. She's throwing out all the buzzwords. Eco-friendly, state-of-the-art. She's promising 3,500 high-paying jobs. She's promising to put this tiny town on the map forever. And the town? They're eating it up. They are staring at her like she's a savior. Finally, someone sees them. Finally, a way out. She's charismatic. She's slick. She's selling $1 billion dream, and they are buying every last word of it. But a $2.8 billion project needs money. A whole lot of it. So the first question is obvious. Where's the cash coming from? And this is where the scam goes to a whole new level. Carissa looks them dead in the eye and says the money is already secured. It's coming from a secret group of powerful investors, anonymous backers who don't want their names public yet. And to make it sound real, she starts name-dropping. First, she tells them she has the ear of the governor of California, that he's personally invested in the project's success. Then, she spins this wild story about a secretive family trust. A group from Spain, so rich and so private they only do business in the shadows. But they trust her. They believe in Morningside. Then, for good measure, she adds another layer. She tells them there's a famous old money family from Texas backing the whole play. She's building this web of phantom billionaires, this army of invisible investors, and she's so convincing, so confident that nobody dares to question it. They want to believe it too badly. So now, the town of Dixon has a choice to make. Do they trust this Hollywood producer who just blew into town, or do they let the opportunity of a lifetime slip away? They go all in. The Dixon City Council is so starstruck, so desperate for this to be real, that they make her an unbelievable offer. They agree to give her 300 acres of prime public land near the freeway, for free. All she has to do is prove the money is real, and she, of course, promises the proof is on its way. The mayor's on local news, singing her praises. He's calling it the most exciting project in the city's history. They are all celebrating. The deal is done. The town just gave away its most valuable asset to a woman they barely know, based on a PowerPoint presentation and a bunch of ghost stories about secret billionaires. They think they're about to become the next Hollywood. The truth is, they just became the biggest mark in a whole-ass con. Now, with the land deal in her pocket, you'd think construction starts, right? Bulldozers work as something. Nope, nothing happens. The field stays empty. Weeks turn into months. And Carissa? She has an excuse for everything. Paperwork delays, permits, environmental reviews. Standard stuff, she says. But some people are starting to get suspicious. A reporter for the Sacramento Bee newspaper starts looking into it. A guy named Tony Bizjak. He's a journalist, so he starts asking the simple questions. He calls her up. So, Carissa, who are the investors? She hits him with a wall of words. They're private. I have to protect their privacy. It's all under NDAs. So he keeps digging. He asks, can you show me any documents? Any proof of funding? She tells him it's all tied up in complex international accounts. It's too complicated to explain. Every question he asks, she deflects. She attacks him for being negative, for trying to sabotage this beautiful dream for the people of Dixon. She is a master at turning defense into offense, but the reporter isn't letting go. He starts making his own calls, and he calls the governor's office. He starts looking into this Spanish trust. He's pulling on the threads. And while he's doing that, Carissa is living her best life. This is the part that is just wild. While the town of Dixon is waiting for their thousands of jobs, Carissa is using the idea of the studio to get real money. She's taking out loans. She's getting cash from individual investors who think they're getting in on the ground floor of a billion-dollar project. And she is spending it like a rock star. We're talking first-class flights all over the country. We're talking $1,000-a-night luxury hotel suites. She's renting fancy cars. She's eating at the most expensive restaurants. She's throwing money around, living this mogul lifestyle, all funded by a studio that is nothing more than words and a field of dirt. She racked up over $50,000 in debt at a single luxury hotel. It's an absolute masterclass in fraud. And then, just as she's at the peak of her high life, it all comes crashing down, and it happens fast. And the reporter, Tony Bizjak, publishes his story, and it's a bombshell. First domino, he gets a quote from the governor's office. They say they have no idea who she is. They are not involved. Neverwhere, lie number 1 exposed. Second domino, he keeps digging into her supposed Texas backers. He finds the family she was name-dropping. They release a statement. We have never heard of this woman or her project. Lie number 2, vaporized. The whole narrative she built, this whole universe of secret, powerful friends, it's all dissolving in real time. The Spanish Family Trust, it doesn't exist. Her claims of producing big Hollywood movies, they fall apart. People look her up. She has a handful of credits on tiny, unknown projects. She's not a mogul, she's a nobody. The city of Dixon is in pure chaos. The mayor who championed her, the council who gave her the land, they are humiliated and they realize they've been played. The dream is dead. They kill the deal. But it's too late. The damage is done. And now the real authorities are interested. The story is so big, so absurd, that the feds get involved. The FBI starts looking into it. They're not just looking at the Dixon scam. They're looking at her entire life. And they find a pattern. They find other people who gave her money for other fake projects. Small-time investors she fleeced along the way. This wasn't her first rodeo. It was just her biggest. So now the FBI has a case. Wire fraud, mail fraud, money laundering. They have receipts. They have the hotel bills. They have the victims. They have everything they need. And they move in. The con is officially over. The party has come to a screeching, brutal halt. There are no more excuses, no more slick presentations, just cold, hard reality kicking the door in. And this is the final beat. After years of lies, after millions of dollars promised and thousands of dollars stolen, the whole thing ends with a federal indictment. She gets arrested. The case goes to trial, and the evidence is just overwhelming. It's an open and shut case of a serial grifter who got in way too deep. And the final outcome? The mugshot finally flashes across the screen. Her real full name, Carissa Carpenter, sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. 20 years for a dream she sold to a town that needed one, and after all of it, after the news crews leave and the lawyers go home, all that's left in Dixon is a big empty field, and the lesson that if something seems too good to be true, it almost always is.